You mentioned a couple of potential candidates. Davis Webb's out there. Davis Webb was a backup quarterback with the Buffalo Bills, and he and Josh Allen are really close friends. And I don't know how I feel about having a really close friend being a guy's head coach, but Webb is that guy that's perceived to have his star on the rise, and he's inevitably going to be a head coach. And I can't help but wonder, Devin, before you pull the pin on firing Sean McDermott, do you know what you're going to do next, or are you truly going into it? We're going to go for any. We don't know what we're going to do next. We just know this guy has to go. I mean, when you've got a guy that's taken to the playoffs that many straight years, and I know that you're not supposed to have your next hire already essentially made. It's supposed to be a full and complete and proper search. But I don't know how you move on from Sean McDermott without having some idea of who you're going to bring in to replace him and try to get you over the hump.
Yeah, and again, you brought up Denver. I got to imagine for John Elway, who, Kubiak was his backup, I got to imagine when he decided we're going to make this move from a coach who just lost in a Super Bowl 2 years ago, I got to imagine he's sitting there like, this is the time. Like, this is the time to put Kubiak in position to be successful. He'll come in here. I think that, and, I brought up New England earlier. Like, there's no doubt in my mind for New England, they sat there and was just like, man, Mike Vrabel's available. Like, we're moving on from a guy that we only gave a year that was a homegrown guy. Like, we're doing this because we know and truly believe Mike Vrabel is going to make us a better football team. And I just think you got to sit there. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you got to be like, okay, if Sean McDermott comes back next year, where do we see our team being worst case scenario? And you got to feel like, hey, we'll be back in the wild card for sure, and it's a good chance we'll be here and having a chance to play in a divisional playoff game. You just have – I got to imagine they think that way about the quarterback they have, McDermott, and what he's been able to build. So to me, when you say that's not good enough, you have to have a really good idea of who that becomes and what that looks like. And for me, I really do. I don't know Joe Brady at all personally and how he interacts with different guys. It feels like to me Brian Daboll could be the number one name to watch, because I just think about maybe how much time he might have spent with Brandon Beane while they were there, whether it was, conversations at the combine or dinner or like whatever of a mentality. Because I do think if you're going to have somebody who was in the room with the quarterback and they have this great relationship, you got to have somebody that has a little bit of an a-hole in them, that has something about them that, yes, they were with the quarterback, but they have no problem challenging that guy and going after him a little bit. And I've been around Brian Daboll. And I think people have seen when he was in New York and in some of his press conferences, like he has that in him. He has the ability to do that. And I think that is so important. And I get it for people that hear me talk. I played in New England with Belichick, where him going after Tom was not a big deal at all. It happened all the time. But I think that's the key with these teams. I think you have to have, and we look now at, Sean Payton and his ability to do that in Denver. You look at Mike Vrabel. You look at these different coaches. Mike McDonald's a defensive guy. So I just wonder, and Sean McVay on the other side of, how do they find a guy that I think he has to have a great relationship with Josh Allen and be able to come in and continue to help him play at a high level. But for the rest of the team, how does he build that, what you just said, that mentality of, we're not going to just go somewhere and lose, or we're not just going to get here and be the same old Bills that just get close, but instill that mentality of, this is our year where we go win this whole thing. And they better know who that guy is.
Yeah, the three names that have emerged most prominently, and you've mentioned Joe Brady, who's the offensive coordinator, which makes it a little awkward. It's one thing during the season for the coach to be fired. Somebody's got to take over on an interim basis. It's another thing after the season, guy gets fired. Who are we going to hire? Hey, how about one of the top lieutenants of the guy who was here? Probably puts some stress on the relationship between the former coach and the new coach. But Brady, Brian Daboll, a Buffalo guy who was the offensive coordinator and did well enough with Josh Allen to get the head coaching job with the New York Giants. That's another reason to have an offensive coach when you've got a young franchise quarterback. Then you don't have to worry about that guy leaving. And then we go on this roller coaster of Ken Dorsey, which didn't work, to Joe Brady. I mean, the Eagles are dealing with that. We get an offensive coordinator, we do well, that guy gets a head coaching job. The next guy comes in, he's got to go. We get another one. Oh, hey, we did well, won the Super Bowl. Oh, there he goes. He's got a head coaching job. We got to get another one. Oh, now he's got to go. So Daboll comes back potentially. That makes sense. I mentioned Davis Webb. He's the passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach with Sean Payton in Denver, and he's been regarded for a long time. He was a third-round pick not that long ago. Davis Webb was a third-round pick in the 2017 draft, the same year Patrick Mahomes came into the NFL, 1 year before Josh Allen came in to the league. And they were together for 3 years. He was the backup in Buffalo, or one of the backups, from 2019 through 2021. So there is that familiarity there, and there's this belief that Webb is a guy. That belief was there from the moment he entered the league. This guy's a future coach. And he's not on the brink yet because he's not a coordinator, but if the Bills decide that's the guy, that's the guy. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.